Make you big screen.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to change the screen for us so it's the speaker view. Okay, so thank you for joining us. And could you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name's Elizabeth Shadle. My pronouns are she, they, and I am the executive director for Hudson Pride Center.
Awesome, thank you. And clearly that's how you relate to the LGBT community. Okay, so I'm just getting right to it. So what are your thoughts on the fact that Bergen County doesn't have an LGBT center? Do you think it's needed, and what will be those needs?
Yeah, so I would say Hudson Pride Center is the LGBTQ center for Hudson County. And our primary location, our physical location is in Jersey City, but we serve all of Hudson County. And actually, how I started my career in LGBTQ advocacy and work was during my time at Fairleigh Dickinson in Bergen County. And while I was a student at Fairleigh Dickinson, there was no LGBTQ representation on campus. There was no organization. So a few friends of mine and myself, all being queer identifying individuals, decided to start the first on-campus organization. That organization is called Spectrum, and it is still running today, I am pretty sure.
Yeah.
And that was really the first time we started working on LGBTQ issues. And there was nothing during that time within TNEC or Hackensack that really did much work on LGBTQ. So it was really important for us as students to bring that to the campus. And what I can say is through my time there and then through the history of me working at Hudson Pride and really around New Jersey for LGBTQ rights and advocacy and acknowledgement is there's a huge need in all parts of New Jersey for places and spaces for queer people, right? And Hudson Pride provides that in Hudson County, especially for the residents here, but oftentimes we get individuals from throughout the state and other states, like our neighboring state, like New York, coming to us saying they need help and they need support. And when people come from other counties, let's say like Bergen, to utilize our services because there's nothing in existence for them in their own county or their own city, we realize how impactful these centers are. Especially now, I would say in the last year and about a year and a couple months due to COVID is really where we could fully realize that, right? So like while heavily our services are active in Hudson County, because of COVID, we had to move all of our services to remote and virtual. And when we did that, we got an influx of individuals accessing us online and in Zoom and over the phone in ways in which we could never imagine from locations well outside of Hudson County. So you're talking about Bergen County, other parts of Jersey, and even well outside of New Jersey for kids, youth, adults, seniors, our SAGE community saying, we don't have this in our community. We don't have this in our city and we're missing it. And so they're tapping into us virtually because that's the only way they can connect. And so when you ask if there's a need for this in Bergen County, I would say absolutely. There's a need for queer people to feel like they have a sense of a safe space, a family, and other individuals who understand them and can meet those needs. For peer organizations to exist is something that happens throughout this county in every city all the time, right? There's many peer groups, support groups, and peer services. So there should definitely be that for LGBTQ individuals in every county. And for Bergen County, it would be extremely important.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's like, just thank you, because I keep on saying this and it's met with like, well, how do you know it's needed? And I'm like, well, besides my lived experience and, and common sense, of course it's needed. We all need spaces. We all need services. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and I would just say for anyone who asks, how do you know something is needed, right? The bottom line here is that queer people are disadvantaged in a number of ways throughout this entire country and throughout New Jersey when you're talking about at higher risk for things like suicide rates, at higher risk for dropping out of school, at higher risk for mental health, depression, substance abuse, right? And all of those issues right there that I just said come from a lack of being accepted or supported or acknowledged, whether it's by your family, your friends, your community, or society as a whole. So when you have a country that's going through issues like back and forth on a military ban that's saying trans people can or can't serve, if you're having certain states come across saying you can't participate in a sport due to your gender identity and it not being in sync with how you were assigned at birth, you're having a country saying you don't exist or you are not normal. So creating those are creating severe mental health issues for us as communities, which thus makes us at higher risk for certain things like substance abuse and suicide and an enormous amount of other stuff like run away from home and homelessness in general. So to say that all of that is true, but then at the same time to say that we don't need services to help those individuals would not make any sense, because then what you're leaving us with is a minority group, and then within that minority group, people of color, right, who are also at higher risk for all of these things and other things in general, a lot of discrimination, and then nothing and no place for them to go. So it's a place that we are now providing a situation of hopelessness, right? And so if we cannot provide those services to kind of shift the conversations, to help people, to make sure everyone feels accepted and supported and give them the tools they really need to succeed in this world, then we're failing our communities, right? And then we're failing our cities and as a county. And so the need is here and it's real. And I think absolutely Bergen County, and I thank you for even putting this together and starting this initiative, because I think it's going to be extremely helpful for all of the residents in Bergen County to have a specific space and location for queer people to go and feel connected and supported.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. And thank you for taking time out of your hugely busy life just to do this. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say, are you aware that this is being recorded and that you give consent for it to be public? Okay, thank you. And you feel comfortable with everything that was talked about and everything?
I do, and I would say Hudson Pride is here for you, and we cannot wait until you are established and your 501c3 is through, and that there's an official LGBTQ center in Bergen, and we're going to be partner at centers. So I'm really excited, and I just want to thank you and your husband for doing this.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna end the thing. Say goodbye.
Bye.